following video contains coarse language, adult themes, and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
When you get +2 because it's prone?
No.
That's only for
only
melee.
melee attacks.
Okay.
So that's 18 versus AC.
That is... let's see now. That's actually a hit.
That should... Maybe's AC was lower than 18. Was actually 18, so yeah. So that's 10 damage.
I can't see connected. Oh, yes I can. Is that your turn, Kieran?
Yes, that's my turn.
Make sure you say it.
Okay, cool. Alright, it's just partial cover and concealment that it ignores. Okay. Coolbane.
So Coolbane moves to here, does an Oath of Enmity on the guy to the south, and charges him. So he moves to there, and he uses Overwhelming Strike. What?
Don't worry.
It's a melee basic attack, Overwhelming Strike for this.
Oh, okay.
And he hits with a 27 on AC.
Yep.
So 6 damage, he shifts to here, and he drags the guy next to him.
No, it's not.
Zorus, go for the runner.
Does Coolbane have a special ability where you can roll 2 sets of dice? Because I always see you have 27 or 10 versus AC.
Yeah, against the target of his Oath of Enmity, you can roll twice and take which... Is it the higher result?
The higher result, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just take 2 rolls. Okay, well then I understand.
Okay, cool.
It's part of being an Avenger.
Zorus, go after the runner.
That's pretty freaking powerful.
Oh yeah, it is. That's
Okay,
Coolbane's
Zorus.
It's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and charge this fucker.
Okay.
With +3.
+3.
Yep. So 26.
Yep.
First AC, and basic damage is 17.
Jesus.
Wow.
Max damage.
That should almost end him.
He's bloody.
Yeah.
Just to like to point out, the guy that I hit, he's also marked.
Yeah.
And I will mark this guy as a free action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And that's Zorus' turn.
Okay.
Then I want to blow my daily.
The choo-choo train's turn. Get it, Raelia? Rail.
Choo-choo train's turn?
Rail.
I'm
Rail.
going to use Dragon Frost on this guy here. It'll push him back 1, but...
Don't do that. Don't push him.
Well,
He's
I've got,
bloodied, isn't he? So...
I've got, like, nothing else that will range him.
Well, you can do the
walk up
attack, but just don't push him.
Walk
Or
up
you
and
can
punch him
move
in the
here
face.
and then force him to
Does
push
it?
back up 1.
Pushing him make a opportunity attack?
No.
No, force movement doesn't.
So you can still use the power, just push him 0 squares.
Hang on, wait.
Actually, does it say up to, or they get pushed a
They
square?
get pushed 1 square.
Well, why not here then? That way you can push him up here.
Hang on, I'm actually just... What's my speed?
But would that provoke an opportunity to attack for
My speed
Coolbane
is
or not?
6.
No, it wouldn't
No.
because it's
Oh,
forced.
fuck it. Alright. My speed
Okay.
is 6, so... Bugger. I'll just use Focusing Strike.
They're walking up,
GG.
smash him in the face. Yep. That killed him.
Jesse.
But
I
the
couldn't
awesome
think of
thing is,
any-
every time I use Focusing Strike, an ally within 5 squares of me can make a saving throw.
I couldn't
It's the same
think of
thing.
anything
Same
funny.
thing with Sarah's brand of the sun.
Make saving throws at the start of my turn.
Yeah. I couldn't think of anything funny for the halfling to say as he dies.
Gurgle, gurgle.
What a world! What
I was one day away from promotion.
Wow.
I never got to see Frodo.
I never made it to Mordor.
3, 4, 5.
Now you need a thick accent then if we want to do a Hobbit. You need a thick Irish /
And
Scottish accent.
Raziel is going.
We never made it to Mordor.
Ah, now, lad, don't you?
I failed,
don't you worry about the Irish accent.
I failed
What are you doing,
Gandalf.
Jesse?
Warlock's Curse, and then Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so that removes Saurus's mark from him.
No, it's the curse. It's not a
It's-
mark.
It isn't Warlock's Curse a mark?
No.
Ah, I thought it
It's
was.
a-
Okay.
It basically a curse is an additional damage feature as well
Okay.
as getting a benefit on death.
I just thought it was a Warlock mark sort of thing.
No, it's not.
24 versus Reflex. Hit, obviously.
Yep.
And scrolling up, because I gotta learn the damage again, because it's a different thing. 1d10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 1d6.
Well, if it's +6, that kills him.
No,
It's plus
it's
5,
plus
plus
5.
1, 6.
Oh, +5, that kills him.
Okay. But just for the sake of prosperity, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then 1d6 plus 0.
With
oh,
our
plus
guild
16.
counter.
Yep. This blast just incinerates him.
Gotta love dark energy.
Counter.
Okay. Yep, that's the end of the encounter. You're all out of initiative and everything. Okay,
Jesse,
so-
Faster with macros, holy shit.
Jesse, I'm gonna.
Can you put the macros back up, please, DM? Because I have a specific region of the screen trained on the overlay for that area. Thank you.
Ah, yep.
Just take it down to round end.
I've written out all your macros. All you have to do is just copy and paste it.
Into the chat.
Oh,
No,
so that's what
to
that was for.
your settings. By creating
Okay.
new macros.
So, what are you guys going to do now that you've killed all these bandits?
Coswin quickly runs over to Sarabi, screaming, "Oh, my poor battered pussy!"
Oh no. Oh god, why?
Sarah moves towards Sarabi, and I shall perform a healing word.
Onto the battered pussy.
You spend your healing surge and gain a +2.
Oh god.
You're using a healing surge on a battered pussy.
DM, what is Sarabi's healing surge? Is it the same as mine?
Worst
No.
choice of words, Kieran.
No,
ever.
she shares my healing surges, so yes, that's mine plus how much? 2.
Can I just point out, it's probably not worth doing that because you can just re-summon it at the end of combat.
Yeah,
Use
I
one
can.
healing surge
You
and
can
it gets
carry-
4 hit points.
You scurry to the nearest Poke Center to heal them.
Coswin whited out.
Oh,
No, so we're
God.
searching the bodies.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah,
Glad
search
you
for
have
bodies,
joined it.
treasure, loot.
Coswin is out of usable pussies. Coswin whited out.
Okay, in amongst them you find their weapons, so slings and bullets, daggers, maces, blah blah blah. And a total of 42 silver coins.
Yeah.
Only
Do we
Silver.
have
silver?
Moving
Speaking of
up.
which, guys, are we doing a joint account again for a bank, or are we just going to keep the gold individually?
No, we'll go joint.
Join.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go joint. So much easier to keep track of as well.
The Crimson
I'll put something in
Fist
Dropbox.
does not yet have a headquarters. This shall make an excellent start to our savings account to purchase one.
I want to joint.
Okay.
Well, there's plenty
So
of
you're
grass
searching-
around us.
You're
So
searching,
42 silver?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh crap.
yeah, you're searching the bodies. You're just gonna leave them on the middle of the road, or
I think Sarah
you also
would like
notice that
to
they're-
give them a burial.
You also notice that on their armor, on the ones that don't have as much blood on them, you can see a small, what looks like a crude drawing of a hawk.
Of a hawk. You
Well,
say.
the thing is, guys, if they were running back that way down the road, that means that whoever they were going to, like, go and see,
Is that
It's
direction?
in that town.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which means, how about I walk up to one of these bodies, and then become it, and then I'll just
Scout
head
ahead.
down the road, as if I was one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I don't see why that doesn't
But
work.
I don't think splitting the party is a good idea. I say we should all go, and then you can just memorize what they look like, and when we look for this person, you can transform into that person.
Alright, fair enough. Because the thing is, the only way that they can ever see through my disguise is if I crit fail or they get a crit on their check.
Yeah, no.
Because my bluff roll is a plus 20.
Fuck me!
So you guys are just heading down to the town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you travel the rest of the way relatively peacefully. Nothing major happens, and you arrive at Shadowgorn.
Coswin's
Here's a map of the place.
Coswin.
I forgot to
Coswin
do a
is
map with
holding
RPG
her
Maker,
poor
so it's
battered
just a
pussy
drawn
in her
one.
hands.
Okay, so at number 1.
I think so.
Yeah, number 1, the entrance. How to get
You
into the
have
walls.
one new entrance.
But there's 2 number 1s. The stable's there too?
Oh crap, it's stuffed up when I copied it over. Stables is supposed to be number 2. Everything
Okay.
past outer gates, add 1 to what it is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
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 So where do we go? Well, we don't need to go to stables unless we're planning on getting horses, but...
Who, are we here to talk to someone in specific, or are we just here to investigate?
It's more you got sent there hearing rumors about the people that founded the Crimson Fist. So it's recommended that
Easy, let's go to the
you
inn.
gather rumors
Yeah.
gather
Let's go
some
to the
rumors at the tavern, possibly visit the local lord, that sort of thing.
I think Sarah's gonna feel at home at the inn.
Yeah, Sarah's
she-
going to
only if she
definitely
drinks.
home at the end.
Sarah's gonna have a couple. Is Sarah in Sarah's past? This just a little bit of metagaming backstory, but the drunken clerk inn is actually named after Sarah because she
No, it's not.
she once got drunken at Shadowgorn and they decided to name the tavern after her. The end.
No.
No.
Oh.
Plumbotine is a magical
It's
story
the
that never
same
happened.
same sort of story, except it's about the local cleric,
Okay.
Borrelia
Barrack?
Pureblade.
But yeah,
You got-
so we should head to number 7.
Number
I agree, let's go
Yep.
go to 7.
7.
Yeah, I don't actually have a map for this because I was stupid and forgot about it. So yeah, you walk in, it's relatively quiet. There's a couple of people at tables. There's a dwarf behind the counter. It sort of looks over at you guys and just sort of nods.
How low is the
says,
fucking counter if he's looking over it? I'm just saying he's a.
Dwarf, leave him alone.
Could be
The
on a
better question is
stool.
how many chairs is
What do
he
you got about dwarf, mate?
How many chairs is he sitting on?
Fucking elves, man.
I'm the same size as an average human, actually. I'm 5'8".
Yeah, I'm 6'4".
Looks like this dwarf has a short fuse.
No, dwarf! Oh, no! Oh, no!
The dwarf
No.
looks over at you guys walking in, laughing, just shakes his head, goes back to cleaning a couple of the mugs.
Yeah,
He's
that's
had
right,
digs
bitch.
in
Stay
her
in
mouth.
bitch.
Raziel walks over to the bar and asks the barkeep, 1 mead, please.
Slap hot tits on me,
The
please. You mean?
dwarf just sort of grunts, pours a mead for you, puts it in front of you.
Then, yeah.
I hand over the money, and
Yeah.
in order to
I
him
think
and say
Sarah
thank
should
you.
have sex appeal as a feature.
Oh, God.
Gains +2 to diplomacy checks.
If that's the case, then
Well, you
Riella's
are right,
having it as
Kirk.
well.
Well,
And
right.
Coswin isn't that bad either.
Actually, you've just reminded me of something.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Yes, 2 silver.
Allies
per drink.
Allies in a 5 square radius of me gain +2 to diplomacy and intimidate checks.
So yeah, basically we're radiating beauty and ugliness.
And well,
As we were entering the drunken cleric, did I notice any Crimson Fist signs knowing?
Not at this particular inn, no.
So waving my badge wouldn't do anything.
Sarah walks into the tavern and sees a empty space in the corner. She slowly paces forwards, putting her scythe to the side of the chair, and has a seat.
Yeah.
Keep them legs
And,
crossed. We don't want the smell of fish overpowering the tavern just yet.
Coolbane orders a mead or an ale, and joins Sarah at the table, and doesn't drink out of it at all.
So yeah, so that's 2 silver for the drinks. Like each drink's 2 silver.
Coswin decides
whatever.
to walk to the bar, doesn't decide to make any remarks about the dwarf, asks for just a flagon of wine with a glass, and goes and joins the other 2 at their table.
Okay, the barkeeper sort of raises an eye at the request for wine and just sort of shrugs.
I'm a classy bitch.
Aurelia walks over to the other group and just sits down without ordering a drink.
You can have some of my wine, my shout.
As you sit down without a drink, you can feel the dwarf just staring at you.
Big insult, mate.
Please, I'll just intimidate check this cunt.
He wants the pee.
Metagaming Zoras, come sit with me and we'll talk to the dwarf about things.
Yeah, Zora sits at the bar.
Okay.
Zora.
Okay.
Sarah
says
does
to
a perception check to look around for any signs related to our guild or so.
Yeah, I'll help him out.
Zora says to
That's
the barkeep,
27.
"A dwarven brother, have you heard any rumors floating around about some travelers that passed over about 200 years ago?"
The dwarf just looks at you for a couple of seconds and says, 200 years? What the fuck do you think I am, an elf? You don't fucking live that long.
Coswin hears this remark.
I certainly give you 8 for effort with the Irish accent.
Coswin hears this remark, looks at the barkeeper, and says, "At least we're not short."
Do you want to get us chased? Kira, do you want to get us chased out of town?
The dwarf reaches under the counter and pulls out a hammer and just sort of taps it in his hand.
The dwarf reaches under the counter, pulls out a shotgun.
Coswin raises her hands in apology and goes back to sipping on her glass of wine.
Okay, before shit gets out of hand, Sarah stands up from the chair, leaving Coolbane to drink his ale. She slowly moves up towards the counter.
The
Looks at the
dwarf
dwarfs at the eyes.
gestures towards the group and just says, "Friends of yours?"
Sarah is now staring at the dwarf in the eyes.
Oh no.
Not in an intimidating way, but in a peaceful way.
Before you do that,
With a diplomacy check later,
before you do that,
she kindly asks, "Do you
one
know
second,
anyone that we can speak to regarding at such a time?" And now
You also get a +2 to your roll because I'm in the same room as you, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be +9 for me.
Holy shit!
That's 28.
Can I play?
The dwarf ponders for a couple of seconds and says, "Try it over at the college. Possibly the local lord. They'd know more."
Sarah bows and prays. "Thank you, kind dwarf."
I think this is the sluttiest cleric I've ever seen.
Hey, I was being nice for crying out loud.
Yeah, the difference is, it's like, you try and keep up your appearances to try and win these guys over. Meanwhile, Rayleigh is just like, "I can be whatever you want, honey."
I can be.
Well, think about it. Sarah is a Daver after all. Imagine how much experience she has.
Oh.
And since Berlioz was a hero, you never know.
Whoa.
In the backstory.
That's a bit of a back story.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry, I forgot to say, Terence. In the background, I added Sinner's Edge into it. Remember the story about Berlioz's background? He was searching for that sword.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of did the idea, the same thing of what you did with Ebony and Ivory, but the only difference is between the Sinner's Edge and the Ekric sword is that when it gets a critical, it doesn't gain the 1d6 kind of a thing.
Oh yeah.
Reference to my own weapon.
but it's a giant blade, and it gains +1 to attack and damage rolls. Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
Wait,
However, of
Ebony and
course-
Ivory's lost now.
Yep, Ebony and Ivory's gone.
You
Aww.
gotta find.
Yeah.
You gotta find them.
Yep.
Throughout the course of your adventure.
Yep, Ebony and Ivory's a scythe now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zora says to the dwarf, "Thanks for your trouble," and takes a gold out of his own pocket and gives it to him.
The
And
dwarf picks
walks
up
out
the
there.
coin, looks at it, bites it, nods, and sort of says, "You're all right. Your friends, they're all right, I guess."
You know what? You share a console, right?
As Coswin gets up, she walks to the dwarf and profusely apologizes, leaving one of her own personal gold pieces on the bar as a peace treaty kind of thing.
How many gold pieces?
1.
1 gold pieces.
1 gold piece.
Raziel,
And Sarah, since
He looks at
Sarah is such a
Cosmo and
religious
says-
type,
He looks at
she
Cosmo and
prays
just
and
says,
says, "May Pedal bless you."
Don't interrupt
the
the
dwarf
DM.
looks at Coswin putting down the gold coin, and just sort of says, "You always copy your friends. I'll take the gold either way."
Raziel finishes his mead, nods at the dwarf, and says thank you, and walks off.
Yeah. Zoros is already out and starting heading to the college, the Shadowgorn College.
Rayleigh just
Raziel,
gets up, walks out with him.
So Coolbane does one final sweep of the tavern and moves his mead to the center of the table untouched, and then follows the rest of the party.
The dwarf looks at the mead, unfinished, looks at you as you leave, sort of rolls his eyes.
no remarks about
Don't you be
Clerics
looking at my
and-
booty?
Fucking short people.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe? Who's maybe?
That's what.
So we're going to the
Shadowgorn
College.
College.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So-
before I head to the college, I'm gonna have Sarah walk around the town to see if there's anyone needs help, for a bit of extra coin for us.
Yeah, I
Like
might
if there's
join
a
her.
sick person nearby or so.
I will join her.
Down people or something.
It looks like most of the sick people are being looked after by the local cleric, Borrelia Pureglade.
Oh, you mean the drunken cleric? Are you sure they're safe with him?
But
Her.
anyway,
Her. Nice.
So I really wanted to try the healing checks, but okay.
Rayleigh finds the nearest sort of alleyway, walks into it, shape changes to a human, and then walks back out to try and not draw attention.
Fair enough.
okay, at the college.
Okay, when you walk into the college, it's a 6-story stone tower. But walking inside, you notice it's in a state of somewhat disarray and panic. There's people running around everywhere.
Zoros grabs the nearest person that's running around and says, "What's going on?"
The person who happens to be one of the record keepers, she looks at you and just says, "Haven't you heard? The headmaster of the college has been kidnapped."
So Coolbane does an insight check to see whether the person's lying or not, as far as he can tell. So
She's not lying.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna say his role.
All right. Genuine
Um,
concern. Go on, Zoros.
Zoros says, "Would this person know about the events that happened 200 years ago?"
She says, "Most of the records are kept in the headmaster's office, but he keeps the key to get in there."
And the headmaster's been taken? We must find the headmaster. Where has he been taken?
She says, "We don't know. We've had guards in investigating, but they were taking all the results of their searches to the local lord."
Zoros let's go to the frightened person and walks out. Not saying a word to his group.
As we're on
Sarah grips her scythe firmly.
as
Where
we
should
are
we head?
on the way to the keep or wherever the
We're
I'm
going to the
guessing
manor house.
manor house. So on the way there, I say, what if the kidnapping's related to the bandits who ambushed us? What if they were involved with the kidnapping?
And we get
Maybe
some
we
more
should-
revenge.
Maybe we could have left one of them alive to interrogate him, but oh well.
'Cause
Right,
they
No
did say
survivors!
They wanted to keep. They did say they wanted to try and capture you alive.
Yeah.
Raziel is acknowledging that Zorus probably knows what he's doing, follows him and leaves the others to talk about their theories.
Okay.
So when Zorus reaches the manor house, is it a gate or is it just a door?
It's just a door. You
It
walk
bangs
in and you
on it.
notice that
It
the
doesn't
door
walk
gets
in.
opened.
Because fuck the police.
The door gets opened by a servant. He sort of looks at the group and he just gestures over to one of the benches that are set out. You notice a couple of merchants and traders sort of waiting there patiently.
Zorus doesn't sit, he stands, but he stands in line. Because he knows proper etiquette of a manor house. And that's all Zorus is doing because it takes piss.
Hey, fair enough.
Zorus drops his dax and pisses on the merchant to his right.
The merchant just sort of screams in outrage and calls a couple of the guards over.
Sarah looks over and says, "This is why we can't have nice things."
The guards sort of come over the group and they all escort you in to see the Lord.
All right.
That's an easy way
I
of
guess we're all
getting
there then.
quickly.
Zorus, being the leader of the group, would be the one to talk, but I guess since he's not here, Raziel. Wait, what are we asking? And I'll just say
About the events that happened here 200 years ago, all the kidnapping
Sarah
that has
moves.
taken place.
Sarah moves beside Raziel for support.
Anyway, Raziel asked the Lord, we were in search of the truth behind the rumors about a group of travelers who have passed by here 200 years ago. Do you have any knowledge of these events?
The Lord sort of looks at the group and he just sort of sneers and says, "Another group of treasure hunters, I suppose."
No.
Zorus says, "Of course we're not." And then kind of like sits up his collar and shows us the Crimson Fist symbol and puts it down.
At this, the Lord leans closer a bit and says, members of the Crimson Fist. I sent a message to your group a while ago. Yes, I have heard some rumors that there was in one of the old books in the college. But, as you've no doubt heard, the headmaster of the college has been kidnapped. He was
So,
out
Sarah-
looking for
Sarah
some
takes
more.
a... Sorry, continue, DM.
He was out at the location of the old town looking for some more historical archives that may have been left there when we evacuated.
So wait, the details we're after is in his office, in
And
books. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or possibly in the ruins of the place where he went to
Sounds like a
where he
trap.
went to search. But he
It's a
went
trap.
missing.
It's a
Well,
trap.
So I sent some guards there, but they haven't returned.
Coolbane would be happy. Would be interested in searching the headmaster's office first.
We can't.
We can't get into it.
Headmaster's got the key, unless we're going to break out.
Is
Sarah,
there a
with the-
is there a
Sarah-
keyhole? Is there a keyhole for the door?
Or is it magical?
And you mentioned this to Lord and he says, "We've tried several times to break in, but he's put magical warding on the door."
Is there a keyhole on the door?
Sarah suddenly rushes forward a few steps ahead of Raziel and she says, "Please, if you have any information where we can find him, please let us know."
So
Well,
I'm just. Can
The
someone answer my
Lord-
question?
the Lord
Before we
looks
go
at
on,
you.
Terrence, what was your question?
The question is there a keyhole at the door to the headmaster's office,
Yes,
such
but there's
that you can look
magical
inside
warding.
it?
Yes.
Can say, for example, Coolbane teleport him there?
No.
The magical warding would prevent you from
Would
teleporting.
block
him.
that. Oh,
They
okay.
would
Yeah.
essentially eviscerate you into nothing.
And wouldn't you also have to have line of effect?
No, it's just line of sight.
Oh.
But we already know where he... So he was last seen at the old town, basically.
And the Lord also says, I was thinking of posting a reward for the return of him, but if you can take care of it, the reward's still there for you.